Hello, can I just ask, has anybody else's character sheet done funny things with like stability and whatnot? Because my stability is now 9 instead of 6. And my athletics, which I'm sure I burnt through 4 of them, is now 7 of 7. Yeah. So I burnt through 4 athletics and I've got 7 of 7 instead of just 3 of 7. I wonder if last week our character sheet was off because I couldn't find my ritual of self-denial on my character sheet, but now it's there again. Yeah, got it. Yeah. So, unfortunately, the one I've opened for my character doesn't have my ritual of self-denial. No, sorry, from my token. Ah, brilliant, yes. Yes, but it's reset everything again. Right, let me just do it manually. It was 6 stability. It was 4 athletics. Yeah. You can have a handful of pebbles you can throw at people. And you can go pew 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 as you do it. Hello.
The
Never done
Xbox
the
as
raid.
well.
I think it's a raid because I've got tardigrade.
Right. Don't know. Can't remember. I know I did have a few of them at one point because I used to keep all my exotics for when I needed to make changes and then just burn through the old ones.
Yeah, I need a 4-piece tip of the spear.
You know, build on my SMG build at the moment is great. I need to level up the gunner though to get it working properly. So I've got my skill build for some of the missions with gunner instead of the technician because I've more or less leveled up technician now. Also, I've got some decent points in the other one that I'll do missions with the SMG. Depends on the mission. I've done 2 of the bounties for the manhunt. Still need to do the tidal basin one, but at the moment that's locked behind the dark tide until tomorrow, I think. And because I haven't done it, I'd have to unlock it through the dark tide, then do the mission, then I can do the mission with the bounty.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was running around doing all the side missions in story mode that I hadn't done, that I needed to do to be able to unlock doing them on the hard mode.
Story mode's cheating.
Well, yeah, but you've got to do it the first time before you can unlock the harder difficulties.
Yeah, you got to do it in story mode, don't you?
Yeah, so it's like the ones yesterday where you had to do the zoo, the theme park on hard mode. I had to run them through on story mode to unlock them so that I could then go back and do them on the hard mode to get.
The zoo drove me mad. That final fight in the zoo was always a mare.
Yeah. If you've got a decent build, it's all right. It was a pain in the ass doing it hard mode yesterday.
Running around from side to side in that build, trying to avoid all the crap that comes down on you.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of Division 2.
Let us play the games of hunger.
Well, I don't think it will be because I don't think that's going to put any weapons for us to find.
Well, I
armored
thought
weapon.
we were going to grab the spikes out the floor.
Yeah, we are, but I don't think they're going to match up to. Was she using a proper spear, as in?
No,
Yeah.
he was using a made spear.
What was it?
Like
So
a
it
sharp
was-
stick.
Right. Okay. Did it have like a rock on the end? There was no metal or anything. It was just
No metal.
primitive. Okay.
Pretty primitive. All right. Shall we begin?
We shall begin.
No, everybody says. We will not begin.
No, let's stay alive another week. It was a dark night and we were all naked.
All right.
Guild I still got that. Got that.
Okay. Last session. You find your way down into the labyrinth, or into the labyrinth, and the underground sewers beneath the pit, the death pit. While down there, you found a gentleman by the name of Zuck, an old soldier who was wearing a very old French Foreign Legion uniform. He was very matter of fact, didn't really seem to care or worry about stuff, it just was. But you learned a little bit. You learned, and he introduced Alfred to the mouth that was creating the nectar that was being fed to people and turning them angry and violent. You learned a few things, such as his plan to destroy the thing, should it ever go against his plan, or his, world. What he kept referring to as the balance, namely a lot of dynamite that was placed around the mouth outside so that it would bring the place down, but also he was going to put some dynamite inside a body or strap it to somebody and push them into the mouth so that it would blow it up from within as well. As you were leaving the labyrinth, you were set upon by Thawi and some thugs, beaten into unconsciousness. When you woke, you were naked in a pit somewhere. Certainly not in Bangkok, because you couldn't hear the sounds of Bangkok around you. What you could hear were typical jungle sounds. Hugh Savitry arriving and stabbing you all through the pit, which caused each of you to manifest a mouth on parts of your anatomy. At that point, she tossed keys into each of your pits and said, "Now I hunt you." And you heard her disappear into the jungle. And that is where we leave it. It is fairly early in the morning. You are wet because you've been in a muddy hole. You are naked. And you are scrambling around, I guess, for the keys that were tossed into your room, into your pit.
Yep.
Refresh my memory. She was up there, but did we hear sounds of anybody else up there?
You didn't.
So it's literally just her, right?
And we can see kind of woodland around type thing.
Correct.
So yeah, grab the keys and try and unlock this thing.
Okay. Anybody with athletics, as long as you have 1 point remaining in your pool, you can climb up the wall of the pit. And if you have lock picking, you can, with a little bit of effort, pick your lock.
Yep. I've got locksmith and athletics.
Okay. It'll probably take you about 20 minutes or so to kind of climb up, reach under, unlock one of them, climb down, other side, etc. Rinse and repeat. Does Joseph or Ralph have lock picking skills?
No, I have athletics. I'll
No.
wait for somebody to pick them.
Okay. You are the first one out then, Alfred. You notice that the other two are struggling to try and unlock their pit, but they are near you. What you've got is what appears to be a circle of pit around a large bonfire, and the bonfire is lit.
Okay. So Are there only the 3 pits, or is there another one that's
There
empty?
are probably 7 pits. You will take
Right.
it.
Okay. Right, okay, I'll go to the next nearest one and start unlocking,
Okay.
but keeping an eye out for savagery.
Yeah, it doesn't take you long. You know, your companions can climb their way up, and then they just hold up the keys. You can take the keys and unlock
Yeah.
the grates. And you can help each of them climb out of the pit.
Yeah, I'm still a little angry because I'm going to be grabbing one of these stakes that are in these metal stakes that are holding the cage in place, and I'll be shaking it and moving it around trying to pull it out.
Okay.
And then I'm going to also pick up the locks. I'll close the locks again, but I want to pick them up.
Okay.
As many as I can without pockets.
You're going to hang them on something, are you?
Yeah. I was just thinking they'd be great for projectiles.
Could
A
be.
bit of weight in them.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get one of the metal stakes up as well. Let's try and lever it around a bit by using the grates to twist it about and loosen it a bit, and then lift it out.
Yeah, it would be easier if we all do
Same section.
one grate at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
we don't need all the buttons.
Yeah.
Well,
One,
you better
one
have it
bit
for
of-
than one.
Yeah,
give me preparedness rolls, please. But
they're not.
you each give me. Can you each give me sense trouble rolls if you've got it? You all have sense trouble. Okay. The mouths that have manifested on your body are starting to whine and slobber, and you find yourselves working around them, making sure that no other part of your body comes into contact, because you're not sure what it would do.
Okay.
Can I get preparedness rolls, please? You don't need to spend points, you just need to roll. Oh, bloody Ralph, look at you go. Ralph, you're angry. You know, you're angrier than you've ever been. And you managed to yank one of these pieces of metal out of the ground. It's actually not that big, slightly bent at the bottom to try and keep it inside the ground, but it's probably a crowbar sized piece of metal.
Oh, it's bigger than I thought.
So you can use it, you can certainly use it as an improvised kind of heavy weapon, which would do a base plus 0 damage. The rest of you, you can. It takes you the other two, the two of you, a bit longer to find a couple more that were loose enough for you to extract from the ground. And likewise, they'd count as improvised weapons plus 0 damage. And you would use the weapon skill to fight with it.
Right. Have a quick look around the edge of the forest for anything that can be used as a spear, whether it's fallen wood or saplings type thing. That maybe use this to hack away and make a spear or something, just so we've got something with a bit of reach.
You have outdoorsmen, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Then give me a 1 point outdoorsman spend, I think. Give me a second. To double check. No, you don't need to spend any points. Yes, you can find a sapling that would be suitable for creating a spear. It obviously doesn't have a sharp point.
No. Well, I've just spent a point. So,
Yeah, you don't need to spend a point, so undo your point spend. As long as you have at least 1 point in the pool, it counts as you being able to use the skill.
don't know how to undo it. I don't think I can.
You have to go to edit.
Yeah, edit it still says. Oh yeah, it says I've got 3. How many? Yeah, the edit shows us I've got 3. I've actually got 2 left. So if I knock it down to 2, back up to 3, let's go back and see if it's. Yeah, it's reset it that way. That's okay.
Okay, cool.
Did she leave any tracks that we can try and follow to see where she went?
Outdoorsman, there is a couple of obvious trails leading down to where you are. First and foremost, it looks like you're on the highest point of the island. Possibly, well, with Outdoorsman, you would be able to work it out. The most northerly point of the island. Looking south from where you are and to your left, you can see the coastline. The island is quite narrow at the northern tip and widens out as it goes further south. You estimate the island to be no more than maybe 3 or 4 kilometers. Actually, that's quite a big island. 1 second. Which? Yeah.
Alfred,
Yeah,
what,
no, the island is probably no more than 1 kilometer long, by its widest point, maybe half a kilometer wide.
Alfred, while you're looking around, can you see if you see a boat docked up anywhere, moored up anywhere?
Yeah.
From where you're stood, you can make out, right, so the majority of the island is jungle, but you can make out to the south east of you, about 2/3 of the way down the island from where you currently are, you can make out what appears to be a jetty of some kind sticking out into the water and some buildings.
I'm wondering if they have our equipment there, our clothes and things.
Possibly. What's the odds it's guarded?
Well,
Any sign of smoke or anything? Like they've got
No.
fires?
No smoke.
You said it was. Did you say it was raining? Or it had
It
been
is.
raining?
No, it hasn't. It isn't raining at the moment. It has rained the last couple of days, but it hasn't rained since you've been here.
Okay, so there's going to be fairly damp mud or soil.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to cover myself in mud.
Okay.
He's gone native.
Yep. Camouflage.
Ralph, Mia's mud all over his bits. That's to stop him from getting sunburned.
But you know, I'm gonna follow suit, but I'm gonna kind of just rub it on my face and my arms, keeping away from my shoulder,
Okay,
maybe a bit on my chest.
no problem.
I don't think it would make much difference to me. The mud's
Probably.
probably a lighter colour than I am.
Probably is.
So
Any
what
tracks from the direction she went? She left any footprints in the soft earth? Show which direction she went.
There are a couple of tracks. There are a couple of trails that lead off the top of the hill. One to directly to the south, and one more to the south and west. However, there are footprints that lead from up and down both.
Okay. Bare footprints?
Yes.
Right.
You could spend a point of outdoorsman to see if you could figure out if one is newer than the other.
Well,
Yeah,
she ran away, didn't she? So perhaps the newer ones, a bit deeper, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there might be signs if the spears touch the floor type of thing. There'll be a.
She has gone down the southwest trail.
I guess she's going away from the Jesse. Kind of expected that, to be honest. So do we hunt her, or do you want to go to the Jesse and see if our stuff's there?
I don't think they'd leave our stuff out. We can do,
I don't. But
but for me, it'd be the obvious place to wait for us. But I'm assuming she's wanting us to get some distance from here, because before she starts her hunt.
Has this thing got a time limit on it? Is it going to get worse, this mouth? We need to find out sooner rather than later to hopefully get rid of it.
It's gonna be like a newborn baby wanting food.
I say we hunt her.
Okay, let's. I'm not entirely happy. I normally.
I wouldn't say hunt her now straight away. She's gone south. I say we go north.
Well, but as far north as we can go.
You find a place that we can scout out that we're happy with, and then we can hunt her in that area. If she's gone south and we follow her, then she knows this island like the back of her hand.
Maybe we can set some traps.
Well, if she's gone southwest, if we just go direct south, so we're not following her and find somewhere that way, because we can't go any further north.
You are pretty much on the very northern tip of the island.
Oh, we're northern tip, right? I thought you said it was the north.
No, we're at the tip of the island, so we've only got south to go, but we can either follow her to the southwest or
southeast down the east coast.
But then we've got.
So you can follow the trail, or you can cut through the jungle. So there's always ignoring trails and cutting through the jungle as an option.
Oh, never go down trails. Never go down trails.
Listening, can I get a feel of the type of wildlife that's around here? I'm assuming there's going to be sounds coming out of the jungle.
Mostly birds, insects.
And you can hear the occasional shoggoth.
And you can hear the occasional shriek of a person being eaten by the colour out of time or space.
Yeah, head down southeast, but not too close to the cliff edge, because she may just throw the spear, we dodge, and straight over the edge.
Okay. All right, you're going to head southeast.
Yeah.
Okay. Down the trail or through the jungle?
Jungle.
Through the jungle.
The jungle is pretty thick and quite slow going. You're using your metal spikes as best you can to clear the trail around you. You probably get 50, 60 yards. Remember, you're going downhill. When who's leading?
I'll probably be leading.
Okay, can I get a sense trouble roll, please? If you want to spend points. You are hacking away, and then you as you clear a piece of undergrowth. You don't hack it down, but you get a sudden, you get a look just beyond this tangled undergrowth and realize you've hit a scree drop. Not quite down to the ocean below or the shoreline, but certainly looking down it, it's probably a 20 or 30 yard sort of scree slope with not a lot of undergrowth on it. You kind of sort of stop everybody.
That will hurt. I can see why there's trails now.
Let's try and find the edge and walk around it. Follow it down.
Turn south at that point.
Yeah, it's going to take you southward, more southwards. But again, you're not on the trail. You're probably, as I say, you're probably 30 yards away from the trail, maybe 5 or 6 yards lower than where the trail is, where you could have entered the trail. So you can't see the trail from where you are. So you think you've got a little bit of cover.
I'm guessing we're making a hell of a lot of noise as well.
You are making a noise because you're thrashing through the undergrowth. And even doing that, your feet are getting cut as you walk on thorns and sharp bits of rock and all that kind of stuff. It's not bad enough to cause you any harm right now. It's just uncomfortable. Okay. You continue this way for another sort of, well, you don't really time, it's hard to tell how long it's taking you to kind of hack through this jungle. But you do come to the bottom of the slope. It kind of starts to gradually even out. It's still running downwards, but at a much lighter gradient. I presume, Alfred, you're still ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to be testing with the spear to make sure that there is ground in front of us as we go along now. And looking for any wires or anything.
Yeah, give me another sense trouble roll.
I'm pretty much out of points.
Okay.
Right. I've got 1 point left and I didn't want to risk it.
You're pushing through, prodding away. Everything seems fine. When you feel a sudden sharp pain in your calf.
Thanks. Take a look at it. That's something there's a snake.
There is a snake.
I was expecting that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Do I recognize the snake? Does it look venomous?
Its name's Bob.
It is definitely looking unhappy.
Oh, it was nice knowing you two.
At least you don't go mad.
Yeah. Is it still attached?
It is at the moment, yeah.
I'm going to reach down and yank it off and throw it away.
Don't throw it. Kill it.
Kill it.
You're gonna yank it off its leg.
No.
Yeah, and then bang it against a tree in that case.
No, I don't want him to. Yeah, he's not going to rip my leg open by pulling the fangs out sideways.
Okay.
Stab it with a spear or something.
You've
All
got a
right.
spear.
Knock it with the bar.
Break,
that's it.
break your leg.
Knocked it away. Not my leg, the snake is. Hit the snake so that it pulls the fangs out.
Give me an athletics check, please, as you reach down, and this is kind of simulating you being able to get it out without doing too much damage.
The 5 is me, not the one. The 2 that's Alfred.
Oh, sorry, it was you did the athletics. Sorry.
Well, I'm hitting it.
You're hitting it.
Yeah, with the metal bar to knock it out.
It's not hitting it. It's trying to. Yeah, it's trying to get it off. Okay. Between you, you manage to get it off, and Joseph, you grab it by the, just the point where it can't get you. What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to listen to Ralph's wise words and bash it against a tree.
Okay. You bash it against a tree.
And jump on its head.
Does it look like there's venom coming out of it?
There is venom coming.
So right. I've seen what you do in a movie. I think it's Clark Gable did something.
You bash its head in. There is a pain in your leg that is, it's kind of a warmth actually. The initial pain has given way to warmth and a slight tingling sensation.
Can I push on the wound to try and push?
Suck on it, Joseph.
I'm going to suck on it. Yeah, I've seen Clark Gable do this. I'm going to get down there and I'm going to suck on his leg and spit it out.
Give me a first aid roll. Your head is very close to Alfred's tackle.
It's all right. I'm a spitter, not a.
Who's doing the first aid roll?
Joseph. All right. You get down there and you give it a big suck.
What about the wound?
And then you just lick the wound at the same time.
I thought Thursday's game was bad for innuendo.
As far as you can tell, you get the majority of the poison out of the leg. To be on the safe side, though, you
chop his leg off. Yeah.
You find some bindings and you tie just above and kind of pull it quite tight. But in doing so, Joseph, Alfred, you're going to take 1 point of health damage. But that numbness kind of tingling kind of wears off, and you do have a bit of a sharp pain in your leg now, and it's quite swollen and quite red and angry.
When I take your tonic off, you're going to die blood poisoning anyway, so don't worry about it.
I'll sit down and let them go on. I think
1 point of health damage.
Yeah, I rolled health tests to spend the point.
Okay. Were you on 12?
I was on 11.
Didn't spend the point.
I'm on 10. My health is 10 now.
Yeah, you've got a health pool as well on the side of your thing. So okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. After,
I think we need to get on the trail. There's too many hazards here. We're making a hell of a lot of noise. We're getting attacked by the local wildlife.
Walk slower.
Nearly fall off.
Walk slower. Be more careful.
About 10 yards ahead of you, there is a trail that cuts to the left and right across the area that you're kind of forging through. To the left, you think will take you potentially to the shoreline.
But it'll take us to the wrong shoreline, won't it? It'll take us to the west one where the jetty's on the east.
No, it'll take you to the east where the jetty is.
Okay.
So where's the right-hand side go then? That must be down to the bottom of that shingly, that steep drop.
So you're going to go that way? Or are you going to continue through? Or are you going to go...
I say we go east to the jetty. They may have first aid or some clothing or something, at least. Something for our feet.
Now, look, you've been bit by a snake and now you want to go to the jetty.
Right. I'll
Yeah,
leave these two behind and I'll head to the jetty.
Okay.
We're going to
Well-
phone discreetly and see if he gets captured.
You're not at the jetty. You are still probably half a mile to the north of the jetty when you come out of the jungle line and see the shoreline. What you do see, though, appears to be a couple of wrecks, half in the water, half out of the water. Boat wrecks.
Are they modern boats or?
They're wooden.
They're not like old sailing vessels, ships and things that might have had crews that run ashore. They're smaller boats, are they?
Sort of small,
fishing
you
boats.
imagine sort of small fishing type boats. yes.
Right. Maybe we go down there, use those for cover, and have a look, see if there's anything left on board.
Are they out in the water or are they up against the?
There are three in total. One is about 2/3 in the water. One is about 1/3 in the water, and the other one is further up the bank.
Right. Okay. So we can get on into all of them without going into the water. Is what I was thinking.
You can, yes.
Yeah, we climb and things.
You say we're out of the jungle now. Is there
Yeah.
a distinctive wall of trees?
Yes.
Yes. Could I just look down there and see if I can see anything,
Yeah.
anyone moving? Because now if we're visible, they're going to see us, whoever's in the jungle line.
Yeah. Can't see anything. Can't see anything.
Any movement down by the boats?
Other than probably some seagulls perched on one of them, no.
Let's go. Let's quick as we can.
You scurry across the beach. The beach is a mixture of stone and sand, quite nice under the feet, actually. As you get close to the boats, all of them have been burned.
Bugger.
And what you have are the very charred outer hull of each of these boats.
Have a quick look inside, see whether it's burns from the inside. Maybe things that have survived the burning.
From
they were in a metal box.
from your trained eye, your evidence collection, forensics kind of stuff, you wouldn't be surprised if something flammable has been poured over them and they've been set on fire that way.
Okay.
Could I have a look for a hand? Any wood that's on there that's been burned, that's sort of I can hold in my hands and use as either a jabby or a club, because with being burned it'd be quite tough now.
Yeah, give me preparedness roll.
Yeah,
You can
any
do.
oars or gaff hooks or anything like that?
No, nothing that dramatic, but you can certainly find a piece of 2x4 that's got a nice weight to it, or at least you think it's got a nice weight to it. It is a little bit burnt, so you don't know if you put if you put a lot of effort into it, you don't know what kind of damage, how long it would last for.
Okay, if they're all like this, let's go.
There is one thing on the boat that's the furthest up the beach that obviously hasn't had any water in it for a while. The other two, when you look at them, the one that's 3/4 in the water the water comes up and over it regularly. The one that's a quarter in the water has seen, has clearly had water covering at some point. This one is probably halfway between the jungle and where the current water line is, and is quite parched and dry. So clearly hasn't been in any, other than rain, it hasn't been in any seawater for a while. Poking around it as you do, because you're looking for things to find, you know, if there's anything there that you can use. In a corner of the boat, sort of at the probably at the stern, there's a heap of ash and stuff. And Alfred, as you kind of gingerly poke it with your makeshift spear and poke your way through, you uncover what appears to be the lower jawbone of a human, quite badly burnt.
Okay.
That'll make a good weapon.
Either there are pirates around or they're killing anyone that comes near the place.
I think the latter.
Hell, they could be pirates for all we know.
Or maybe these are the people that brought us here, and they we get brought here, and then they get set on fire. I'd have thought they'd probably want to eat them, to be fair.
There's nothing we can do with this lot
No.
anyway.
Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Okay. You heading back into the jungle, or you're moving down the beach?
My view is down the beach, because then she's going to have to come out if she wants to get us. If we go through the jungle, she could be hiding behind a tree. That's my thought. What do you think, Alfred? This is more your expertise.
Yeah, I can see the tactical sense of walking on the beach, but she's in no hurry. We're the ones that have got something that's happening to us, so we're on the deadline. She can just sit and wait for this thing to take over or do whatever it's supposed to do.
Each of you is starting to feel thirsty. You realise you probably haven't had a drink for maybe 24 hours now. Because it was morning yesterday when you went into the labyrinth.
Mm.
So you're all starting to feel that a little bit.
Yeah,
Need a drink, and it's quite warm as well.
See, that's where the jungle will come in handy. It'll give us shade, and we may find fresh water, whether it's from the rain that's gathered in leaves or pools on things that we can use. I say go into the jungle, just not necessarily far into the jungle.
How far are those buildings away?
About half a mile to the south of where you are.
Right.
And actually, to be fair, where you are at the moment, you can't see the buildings.
No.
What you can see, though, is you look behind you and you can kind of see the coast, and you can see where the back end of the hill that you've come down climbs upwards and out of the jungle, and that side is definitely a craggy, cliff-like, rocky cliff side. Looking southwards, from where you are, the coastline kind of curves to the left, and you can't see far enough around the coast to see where the dock was that you saw from above. But from from memory, that is what the island is like. It's kind of that kind of shape where it bulges outwards towards the south of the island.
Like a jelly bean.
So if you were to walk straight where you are, you would pretty much end up back in the jungle.
Let's do it. Let's get moving.
Okay.
I'm going to start looking for any fresh water, whether it's big leaves that have caught any, just to give us something in the meantime.
Yep. Okay. You step back into the jungle. There is a trail that's more to your eye, more of a small game trail than a person trail. So it's quite tight. It's probably you'd still need to kind of push things to one side as you're walking, but it's better than forging your way through the actual jungle.
Okay, I'll follow that.
And actually, following it in your head is probably not a bad shout, because it probably goes to either a water source that is not the sea, or it goes to a food source, which could be good.
Yeah.
Are there any traps?
Got a big fucking snake in my hand.
Another 100 or so yards back into the jungle, a couple more trails cross. One sort of heading southeastward, which would, you imagine, put you back out in the coast. Also head southwest and northwest. The trail, though, does continue, roughly speaking, to the south, slightly to the southwest.
No. Keep going on then.
Keep going. Not too far further, it opens into a small clearing. Several fallen trees here and there. And in the middle of this clearing, there is what appears to be a small pool.
Right. Stop at the edge of the clearing and look around the edge of the clearing, see if I can see anything looking out of place, like savagery hiding there, looking up into the trees as well.
Yeah, what order are you moving in? So Alfred's at the front.
I would say Ralph in the middle, because he's Ralph, and I'll cover the back because I'm more agile. I would say nothing wrong with that, Ralph. You're just a bit more studious than in my eyes.
You know what it is? Joseph just wants to look at your ass, Alfred.
Oh yeah, that's how we roll in the Hamptons.
Okay. All right, Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
There is a sound behind you of sort of snapping twigs.
I'll quickly spin around, weapon at the ready.
Okay. As you spin around, you see a flash of, well, you'll see a flash, a flash of movement, what looks like tan skin, and you watch as a spear comes straight out of the jungle, not too far away from you, and thunders into your thigh. Into your thigh. Can you take 4 points of damage, please.
Certainly.
As the spear is now kind of sharpened, pointed stick is kind of stuck in your leg.
You've got a weapon now.
That's a good point.
Bonus.
I'm assuming we hear a shout of pain. Can we
Yeah,
turn around and see her?
Cry from Joseph.
Aye!
As you turn, about 10 yards ahead of you, back into the jungle, Savitri runs from the coast side of the trail further into the jungle, pausing for a brief step out in the trail where she looks at you and grins.
How far away is she?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Is she in throwing range?
She's about 10 yards away.
She's getting this iron bar launched at her head. Then.
That's what I was thinking.
She wants to pause and.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I mean, you can still throw it at it even if she doesn't pause. Go for it. So.
Well, she was specifically pausing, standing still, and smiling at us taking the piss.
yeah. We've got
Well-
something weighted that can break through some of the branches and things and still keep going.
You mean like a
Give me a
lock?
weapons roll. Your target is 3.
What
A
roll is it?
weapons-
So weapons roll as you launch this thing at her. Look at that, Alfred.
Can I throw a lock at her?
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a second. Ralph.
Yeah.
Okay. Ralph, you launch your spear or whatever you launch at her, and it goes awry, missing. Alfred, though, you hit. Can you roll a d6?
See, mine was just put her off so that
Yeah.
Alfred would hit her.
Yeah.
How do I roll 6? Roll 4. Is it 4/ roll 1d6?
It's 1d6. Yeah.
4/ roll d6.
Okay. You kind of she kind of twists out the way, but you watch with satisfaction as your stick kind of slices across her arm, leaving a bit of a jagged cut. You can see a bit of blood start dribbling down. Dribbles down into one of her mouths on her arm, and you can see, even from where you are, the tongue starts to lick upwards.
Look at the lead herself. What's that? Heading towards her.
Did you want to throw one of your
Well,
locks?
to be fair, I'd have probably dropped her over on my hands when the spear hit my leg, so...
Yeah. I would agree.
So in which case, I'm gonna
With
pull,
a cackle, she's off back into the jungle.
I'll pull this spear out and put my hands on either side of the wound.
Okay.
Has it gone all the way through or just into?
It just into.
Oh, in which case, yeah, I'll put my hand on top of the wound just a bit. And then if
Yeah, the fatty muscular part of your thigh has kind of taken the brunt of it. It hurts. So.
yeah. I'm going to try and find a leaf to stick over it if possible.
Okay, you can find leaves and vines, or
Yeah.
certainly Alfred can with the outdoor skill.
Yeah, I'll find something. Any medicinal plants and things as well that might actually not so much heal it as numb the pain.
Yeah, the problem with that is you're not familiar with jungle.
No.
I'm just going to soak it in this fresh water over here.
So it's hard for you to work out something that could be of benefit, but it's obvious that you can get vine and leaf, like you say, to wrap around it and help staunch the. Can I just get a first aid roll from somebody, please?
Okay. Only person she sucks the venom out.
You're able to staunch the most of the blood flow. You are concerned though that any real sudden movements could reopen it. So just bear that in mind.
I'll see if I can retrieve. Oh, go on.
The water itself is drinkable, definitely potable. There are a number of biting insects around it, though.
I'm going to see if I can retrieve my spear first.
Okay.
I'll come with you to kind of protect you within my newfound spear.
Which is probably better than mine. And once I've found it, look for a big leaf to try and batter the flies away around from the water. Then one of us try and drive them away so that we're not getting bit while we're drinking. Take turns.
As you turn back around, where's Ralph?
Just on their heels.
On that hill. Okay. As you all turn back around in the clearing where the water source is, you can see Savitri smiling at you. And as soon as you turn, she just kind of gives you this kind of condescending salute, turns around and jumps back into the jungle.
Right.
Well, she can get fucked.
Can't we just make a cup out of a leaf and just dick it in the water and leg it, and keep moving?
The one that we just saw now, did she have a wound on her arm?
Yeah.
She's not one of triplets or something like that are running around.
No.
Did she have a weapon or just nothing?
Spear in hand.
Another bloody spear?
Another bloody
A few
spear.
of them. And we've got woodworking skills to make shields.
I'm gonna leave this water and let's get moving.
I say we need the water, especially if we're injured. So we have a drink first and then go.
But if we stop to have a drink, you're a sitting target.
Well, she's already gone now.
Do you know that? Because she's just in the jungle, isn't she? She could be just 2 feet in the jungle.
Yeah, but one at a time. Take a drink. I'll take the first drink if you want.
No, let's go. Move.
I'm going to take a drink.
Okay. Alfred pauses, crouches down, like a Neanderthal, and takes a drink.
And then head towards her direction.
I mean, the water is, as I said, the water is drinkable, but it is warm and a bit tepid. But it's
All right, water's water. We'll get the shits out. We'll get the shits from it, but
yeah.
Okay, you're heading into the jungle to the south,
which could kill us, but
wherever from where she was.
Okay.
I'm looking for any trail. Now that she's been stabbed, hopefully there's a slight blood trail at least.
You step into the jungle, continuing southwards, I presume, trying to head towards the buildings that you saw, best you can.
Yeah, that's why she was heading that direction as well.
You have no idea where she was heading. She went into the jungle in that kind of area to the south of where the water source is. Whether she's heading that way, whether she's playing with you, you just don't know.
Okay.
She's playing with us.
You head back into the jungle. There isn't really a trail. She kind of went into the undergrowth, so you've kind of gone back into the undergrowth, and you're kind of pushing your way to the south. By the looks of it, she kind of headed southwards. There's certainly some damaged foliage here and there. But after about 10 or 15 yards, that damaged foliage seems to disappear, leaving you in the thick of the undergrowth.
Yeah, head towards the coast as quietly as possible.
Heading sort of more eastwards.
Yeah.
Westwards, sorry, which will take you to the coast because you're heading south.
Yes.
As we're going along, are there any sort of like good-sized, fist-sized stones?
You can find a few of those. Yeah.
Pick up a few of them.
Okay.
Make an axe and start chopping for resources.
You don't have a lot of place to keep more than maybe 3. 1 in one hand for throwing and 2 carefully balanced in the other hand. Okay. As you continue sort of slightly heading westwards, you are kind of cautiously traveling when let's have a look.
Listening out for any change in the wildlife sounds.
As you've, ahead of you, there is a small sort of ravine, if you like, a small trench or dip. Looks probably like a river, not a river, a stream once ran through this area where you're traveling.
How deep is it?
At its worst, it was, the area that you are is probably no more than about 3 feet wide, but probably 3 feet deep.
Okay. Carefully approach it and look down it to make sure there's nothing down there.
Okay. As
With
you
the spear
look
ready.
down it, a spear comes straight up at you.
And the spear goes straight down as well.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. She's quicker than you, so she'll get a stab in first, and then you can stab back. So she's
I'm
going
trying to deflect it with the bar.
Okay, roll a weapons roll. We'll compare the numbers. She beat you by 1.
Okay.
So as you try and deflect it, she's almost expecting it, so she kind of pauses with the thrust upwards, just enough to put you off your pace in terms of trying to parry it. And you watch with horror as the spear comes straight up into your kind of upper chest area. Let's have a look. It is going to do 1 point of damage, you jammy git.
Luckily, your Neo body swerved it.
As it does hit you, but you can react to that and you can go back. So you striking her with the bar or
no, with the spear. So I was trying to deflect her spear with the bar and stab down with. So
okay, go for it.
Hopefully,
roll. Do you let me give you? Let me do that. If you use your bayonet machete skill, because that's the same. It's a +0 bonus that you have for the spear. So just use that as your skill. Look at that! You hit her. 3 points of damage. She shrieks as you kind of catch her into her shoulder. She kind of, with her other hand, she just yanks her spear out, and as she yanks it out, she drags her spear across your spear and kind of pulls it out of her shoulder, and then she turns and starts to run down the riverbed.
And gets stone at the back of her head.
Okay.
And throw the spear as well.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay. So from a stone point of view, it's gonna be. See if you've got something you can use on your character sheet. Yeah, use your fist kick. Sorry, no,
Fist kick or small improvised weapon.
use your small improvised weapon. Sorry. Okay. You catch her with your stone, but it doesn't. It maybe makes her stumble a second, but it doesn't seem to do much in the way of damage. Do you want to throw your spear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't got a skill that looks relevant.
Yeah, it's the same. It's your weapon skill. It's just the same machete skill that you used last time.
Unfortunately, I spent all my points in that now. So if that had hit, that would have hurt.
That would have hurt. So you launched a spear, but that stumble from the stone the spear just kind of clatters to her feet. At which point she turns, she whirls, and she throws her spear back at you.
I want to catch it. Steps aside and catch. That would be awesome.
Not in a body part.
Yeah, catch it with my hand. But I have.
Wait,
I
through
don't think
your
there's
hand.
any skill. Yeah, there's no skills I can see that would be relevant to that.
Give me an athletics roll.
It's as close to dodge as you can get in it.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not enough for you to catch it. You try and catch it, but the momentum of it is it's kind of quite accurately thrown, and the position of it means that as you get your hand to it, it's still kind of. By the time you stop it, it's sticking into your shoulder for 2 points of damage.
Okay.
At that point, she will scoop. Joseph, do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw. No, I won't have carried the locks because I've got a bar in one hand and my spear in the other.
Yeah.
Passing one of my stones.
Yeah, I'll take a stone and throw it at her.
Okay.
I'm going to throw the other one. So
let's have a look. Give me a.
Just be trading for the spears. Your turn.
I'm not chucking the spear at her.
Give me a sec. Give me a small improvised weapons roll, which I've just dropped onto your character.
Lovely.
It will use the it will use your weapon skill. Oh, nice throw. Okay, you hope the stone. It clatters into her, squaring her back as she's turning again, scooping down the spear that you've thrown, and she's starting to kind of pick herself up.
I'll launch the last stone at her as she's running away.
I'm going to start running at her. See if I can actually tackle her while they're throwing things and she's dodging. So I'll drop down into the thing so I'm lower than them and
Okay.
Try and run a bit.
She will be able to get into the jungle before you get to her.
Okay.
Did Ralph hit?
Yeah, Ralph hit.
Oh, nice throw.
Again, probably
my dad made me play baseball.
probably
Bastard.
square of her back. So again, she stumbles a little bit, but she kind of picks herself up and looks over her shoulder to see Alfred is kind of climbing down. I mean, you're not necessarily going to jump down a 3-foot hole, right? You're going to lower yourself down quite carefully, which is enough for her to basically turn and head into the jungle. And as you kind of get to that point where she's gone into the jungle, or roughly where you think she's gone into the jungle, you can hear a little bit of clattering and crashing, and then it goes quiet.
I'm going to whisper very quietly. Do you think she'd double back on us?
I'm going to climb out where she did with my spear in front of me. So that if she pops up, she's going to pop up into the spear and look over, see if anything's happened.
I'll start,
Hopefully
pick, I'll,
there's a
start,
ravine
I'll,
at the
I'll start picking up stones again.
Your preparedness.
Who?
Stuff.
Hmm?
You have preparedness.
Preparedness, yeah. I was just looking at the riverbed.
Yeah, give me a preparedness roll, please. You can find a couple of suitable stones.
She climbed out the same side as what we are on.
No,
didn't she?
the opposite.
Oh, the opposite side. Sorry.
So I'm climbing up what she did and seeing if I can figure out what that clattering noise was. Hopefully she's fallen off a cliff. But
No, it stopped, didn't it? So
Whatever it is, it's gone quiet in there. You can probably see 5 yards into the jungle.
right,
It's
I'm gonna
Let's go find her.
I'm gonna sneak into the where
don't go too far ahead.
Give me a stealth roll then, please.
well, I don't go too far ahead. You lot have got to reveal where I am. So I'm sneaking in at the moment while I'm ahead.
Give me a stealth roll. Very nice.
Well, the thing is, we have to be all together to get the strength in numbers.
Mm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you play your stealth, there's no point.
Well, I'm trying to find out what that noise was more than
into the
ambush her.
jungle. How far into the jungle are you going?
Probably 10, 20 foot. She wouldn't have gone far before the clattering. So I want to see what the clattering was more than anything else.
That was her bashing her way through the jungle, wasn't it?
There was a clattering noise, and then it all went quiet.
The clattering noise is the sound of somebody moving through the jungle at a swift speed.
Ah, right, okay.
And then it went quiet. Does that change your action?
So it's either she stopped and waited, stopped and fell down a hole, found a path, reached a clearing.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think she's run in a random direction and then just hunkered down.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing what I did. I'm going to move up there quietly and off the trail a little bit and see if I can see any movement.
As Joseph, as you and Ralph kind of lower yourself down into this little stream bed ravine thing, you see Alfred disappear into the jungle. Alfred, the jungle here, there isn't really a trail again. She obviously ducked into the jungle where no trail existed. But your outdoorsman tells you she knows how to move around this jungle much better than you do.
Yeah.
And, you kind of look over your shoulder and you realise that even the sort of the 10, 12 yards that you've moved into the jungle, the undergrowth and the trees have already pretty much blocked off a clear view of that stream bed. And you kind of start to look around, you pause, hoping that your friends will catch you up. When
that's what I'm doing. I've ducked in, I've hidden once I've gone that far in. I'm just waiting for them to catch up now, but keeping an eye out in case she's doubling back to try and ambush them coming through.
Yeah. Well, actually, give me a sense trouble roll, please. Give me an athletics roll. Again, you don't have to spend points on it, but your target is 3.
I only had 1 point. So I thought I'd spend it. But...
Okay. At the very last minute, you sense almost like it's almost you feel a movement in the air above you. And as you look up and start to twist to bring your spear, you see Savitri just jump down towards you and kind of clatters on top of you, her knee going into your sort of. I suppose if you're twisting, it probably catches you in the side, enough to flip you onto your back. And she grins down at you and punches you in the face.
Okay, I'm going to try and grapple her.
Okay. Well, she's punched you in the face. Let's see what damage she does.
That's where Alfred cock-slaps her with his 12-inch baton.
Well, scuffling is my main skill, so I'd be trying to get close to her to kick into that.
You'll take 3 points of damage as she kind of sucks you on, but now you can choose what to do.
I'm going to grapple her and try and put her into a chokehold.
Naked wrestling.
Go for it. You would be reusing your fist skill,
So
and you will be. In order to do that, you are dropping your spear.
Yep, that's fine.
She punched you with her free hand.
Right.
Okay. Well, what did she roll on that punch? Fuck. Okay, 1 second. As she punches you, she drags her arm over your face, over your body, and the mouth will take a bite out of you as well. 1 second. This thing is nasty.
That's fine. If I grapple her with my arm that's got the mouth on, hopefully it'll bite into her throat. Rip her throat out. That'd be nice.
You can let it do that. Right, it's
I
going to
assume I've
bite
got
you for 4 points of damage.
Well, I would if I wasn't now taken to 0.
Okay, so you're taken to 0. Hang on a second. Right. So it's not as bad as it sounds.
You're not at -12, don't worry.
Okay. So at 0 hit points, 0 to -5, you are now hurt. So it hurts. So all of your tests are at 1 difficulty higher. Doesn't mean you can't grapple her. You can. But instead of it being target of 3, it's now a target of 4.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go for it. Oh. Okay. Do you want to roll some damage as you kind of scuffle with her and get her into that chokehold?
What am I using? Fist
So if
kick?
you go to you should have a fist skill on your thing. So just hit the roll button. Don't spend any points. We'll see whatever damage comes up on that roll. Okay, so you do 1 point of damage. Right.
Damage is useless tonight.
You didn't roll a 6. So in order for your mouth to be able to bite, you need to roll a 6 on your skin.
Right. Okay.
So you didn't roll a 6. You're still not used to this thing, so you don't quite know where it is in relation to getting it exposed. But she takes 1 point of damage. She's looking bruised and cut. So there are a number of bruises and cuts on her body. But you have in a chokehold. Okay. Joseph and Ralph, you're both down in the ravine and you're heading to roughly where you think Alfred pushed into the jungle. Let me have a look. Could I get... both of you give me sense trouble roll. Nice, Ralph. Nice. Okay, both of you can hear the sound of thrashing about in the jungle. So you both have a rough approximation of where she is.
Make haste to that sound.
Pick up the pace, yeah.
Don't worry, we don't need privacy.
Yeah, when you come to, there'll be her bent over.
And him behind her.
And
Backs
she's
out
going,
of the clearing slowly, closes the door.
She's
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, what has been seen can't be unseen.
Have you seen
Yeah,
Picard?
Give the mind leech.
Have you watched
she's gonna
Picard
try and-
where he comes out with I'll make it a threesome?
You
Yeah.
hear the female's voice go, "It's true, it's true."
She's going to try and free herself from this grapple, okay? So we're going to do opposed scuffling rolls.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
okay, so that's your go, but you'll do 2 points of damage to her. As she starts to try and throw you off, you kind of shove her face down in the dirt and you grind it a little bit. But she's going to take 2 damage. And now she starts shrieking
With a mouthful of dirt.
with a mouthful of dirt. Okay. Joseph and
Just go ask. Has she got a ponytail to grab or anything?
I just want to shout, "Use the chair! Use the chair!"
Put her through the table.
I'd say she's got long hair.
Oh yeah.
No, when women get serious doing stuff though, they always put their hair up in a ponytail to keep it out of harm's way.
Yeah, it probably isn't a ponytail. Okay, you two kind of push your way through the jungle towards the noise. You'll come to this kind of somewhat flattened area to see Alfred kind of pushing down on what looks like the naked form of Savitri. Again, she's going to try and break. So that's your action for this round. You're not quite have enough action economy to get in there and pounce on her or stab her or whatever you want to do. She's going to try and break the scuffle again. She wasn't expecting you to put up such a good thing. So, a post scuffle test. This time, she suddenly kind of twists her body and pushes you off with her feet, and then kind of bounds backwards and kind of crouches, looking at the three of you, an angry snarl on her face. Joseph, Alfred, hold on, let me figure out which one of you two are quicker. Ralph, no, Joseph, what do you want to do? You're quicker.
That's surprising. I'm going to launch this spear at her while shouting, "It's dinner time!"
Okay. Go for it. Give me a roll with your improvised weapon.
Oh, it's improvised, right? Sorry.
Well, no, it's not improvised. What did you say you were using the machete?
I put a spear in. It's 0, 0, 0. Is that okay?
That's right. Yeah, use your spear.
And it's not.
Okay. The spear plunges into her stomach, and she screeches in pain.
As long as it doesn't come out the back and into me.
No, she's rolled away from you. Luckily.
She's got a hell of a lot more health than I have.
She shrieks in pain. She's on. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't go that far down. And then, Ralph, what do you want to do?
I'm going to go up and smack around the head with this rock in my hand as an improvised weapon.
Okay, go up to it. Go up and smack around the head then.
Nice.
That'll hit. Roll damage. 1 point of damage.
If a little helps.
Okay, hang on.
Now pull a ponytail.
Okay. She's dazed, but still fighting.
She's tough in
Alfred,
cyborg.
You're up.
Finish her.
Yeah. Basically.
Fatality.
I'll try and choke her, I guess. Oh, actually, I don't want to roll it there. I want to do it on that one there. Let's kick. No damage again. My damage rolls suck. I can hit, I just can't do any damage.
Yeah, you're just not.
To use his mouth, is it roll a 6 on the dice or 6 in total?
6 on the dice, I think.
Oh, right. At that point, Alfred, can you make a? What's your current? What's your current health? 0.
Health. 0.
Can you roll a d6 minus 0?
Oh, 1d6 minus 0.
Yes.
Do you just type in minus 0 or
No,
just
no,
do
just 1d6.
for 1d6?
Okay. All right. Something that I didn't realise. I just spotted it. Okay. When your health pool drops to 0, you make a consciousness roll. Roll a die with the absolute value of your current blah 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 blah. Okay. Because the absolute value would be 0, so that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so 0 hit points actually is not a massive impact to you. So okay. So yeah, you go in and you try and hit her. She kind of takes it on her jaw and just kind of looks up, her eyes flare up, and she slashes out at you with her fingers, just trying to tear into your body. So she, first of all, makes a consciousness roll with her absolute value of health. Oh, that's going to be tricky. She makes it. Her target was 5. She rolled a 5.
Actually, the position I'm in, I should make a riding roll, shouldn't I?
Yeah. So she's still going. So now she's going to swipe at you, Alfred, with her fist. She's going to do. She's going all in. She hits with a 9.
She's going for that cut on your chest. You see, she can rip it apart.
She does. She hits you square on, but does no damage.
Oh, she's joined my school of fighting, has she?
Joseph.
Seeing this going on, I want to go in with my bar and I want to take a swing at her.
You're going to go in with your bar and just go whack.
Whack, yeah.
Okay, go in with your bar and whack her. That is a
improvised.
It's an improvised. Yeah, it's the same as your spear.
Oh, okay.
It counts as a heavy. It's like a heavy bar. So. 8.
Oh, I got 6. I've got a mouth on my bar.
Okay, your mouth gets close to her and will attempt to bite. I'm going to run the mouth for you just because it's easier for me to do that. You can't stop the mouth doing this because you don't know how to control it.
No.
So it is going to... do that. It misses.
Whew, that's good because it's on my shoulder.
It's not as awesome as you think it is. What it's really bad with is it's bad with its spit. Yeah. Okay. It misses. Now. One second. I just need to see. God, her difficulty is. She's going to try and stay. Going to try and stay awake. She stays awake. Defiantly, she collapses in a heap at your backwards and just lies there, panting heavily, blood oozing out of a number of her wounds. Her mouth's hissing and snarling and snapping as you kind of hover over her. Her eyes are glazed and dazed over. You know, that kind of I've been hit on the head really hard kind of look in the eyes. But she does still seem to be breathing and she's still awake.
Pick up the metal bar that I dropped.
Well,
Oh.
let's
Looking for some thick enough vines around, jungle vines to tie her up with.
Well, let's come back to that. Take a quick 5-minute break, 10-minute break.
Yeah.
Come back at 1:15.
Let's make a coffee.
Time to make a coffee.
I'm just doing some jiggery pokery because I realised that my spear was taking my scuffling rather than my weapon. So I've just balanced it out now. I'm going to yank my spear out of her stomach. And hopefully that'll cause a bit more pain for her. Let's hope it's not a portal into the other side. Well, I'm going to run my spear back into her. Oh. And I'm imagining I'm putting my shoulder into the thrust, so my mouth is going to be as close as possible to her. Very nice. Yeah, well, my mouth was going to have a go as well, since I rolled a 6. I can't stop rolling 5, sorry. I think that was the instructions, wasn't it? Or was it? Why did I roll 2? I should have rolled 1 because it would have been 2 idiots. I know. Yeah. I can imagine Ralph crouching down and going, "So, Alfred, tell me what the word wibble means to you." Oh, crap. Yeah. Yeah. But she's got 3 mouths. Yeah, back hold. Yeah. See, I'm not messing with that stuff because that's freaky. I didn't. My shoulder did. I couldn't see it because it's out of sight. Yeah. It did. It's going bitty. Oh dear. Yeah. It's not the first time I've done this. A much shorter one. Yeah, small animals and things. Yeah, she might wash up somewhere with these mouths on her. Yeah.
And Alfred is kind of face down in the dirt as he succumbs to his wounds and passes out.
Okay. I'll take a look at it and first aid him.
Okay. Give me a first aid roll, please.
The poison's finally worked.
You don't need to roll, actually. How many points of first aid do you want to spend?
2 I spent there.
Can I assist?
For every first aid point spent, he regains 2 health points. So you can regain 4 health points, and you'll kind of come to.
Make that 6.
Okay, 6. Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Try not to get your shoulder too close to him, eh?
Yeah.
Gained 1, lost 6.
Yes.
Yours is the one to watch. 1d6 plus 2. It rips flesh to pieces. Nasty.
Where is yours?
It's on my upper back.
Oh,
I assume because she was stabbing down, it's going to be somewhere
yeah.
around there.
Yeah, I was trying to deflect hers, so I said on my own. Forearm.
Well, over the next hour, best you can tell, it's late morning, probably just after 11 o'clock in the morning. The sun is kind of starting to get towards its peak. It is pretty hot and damp under the jungle foliage, but you have a pyre built. Very carefully, you can load the body up onto it. And I'd need another point of outdoorsman if you've got one to light the fire.
Yep, I have. That's my last one.
If this doesn't work, we're dragging it up to the top of the hill.
That's the last
No.
point. That was one for the.
You find two relatively dry sticks, a bit of dry tinder, and you do the whole stick rubbing thing. Create heat, set the tinder on fire, push the tinder in, start blowing, and gradually over the next sort of 20 minutes, the wood takes, and then it just takes and takes and takes, and soon you have a fairly hot fire going. As the mouths burn, they will scream.
Music to my ears.
Oh, yeah.
The question is, we have to wait till it burns right down just to make sure they've gone.
Yeah.
And if it works, we can maybe burn ours off.
I'd rather not burn my whole arm away.
Mine's on the shoulder.
Yeah, chest and shoulder, you're in a lot more trouble than I am.
You wait. Probably wait a couple of hours, to be fair.
As the fire's burning, I'll cook some of this snake.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an idea.
For breakfast.
All right, you cook some snake. You've got your water source nearby. Oh no, you have to go back to the water source.
Yeah, I'm going to change my
I would
improvised
probably say
bandage.
you'll have most probably dragged the body by the feet out into the dry riverbed and lit it in the riverbed, because lighting a pyre in the middle of a thick, dense jungle is asking for trouble.
Yeah.
The riverbed will run down to the shore if you wanted to take it, and then just follow the shore around the island to the dock and to the building.
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably mid-afternoon by the time you've got your spears, right? You get your spears, you get your rebar, whatever, so that you've got a couple of weapons just in case. And you follow the shore around, and the first thing you come to obviously is the dock. The dock has probably 2/3 of the dock area that goes out into the water have boats tied to them. And you kind of think, yay, way off the island. But as you look at the boats, they're all leaking in one shape or another. You may be able to patch one up to get you off the island, but it's not going to be an easy job. Looking further inland, though, there is a clear hobbled roadway that runs up to what appears to be a rather large house.
Yeah, I was going to say there's got to be a residence on it, isn't there?
Yeah. Appears to be a collection of outbuildings constructed in a neoclassical European architectural style. So the docks that you're at, a pair of wooden docks jut from the shoreline out into the bay.
You said there was some buildings at this dock.
There is a boathouse.
Let's look in there first.
Anything in that boathouse that's useful.
The boathouse itself has no boat in it. But it does have hammers, belaying pins, saws, gaff hook, all kinds of very nasty and rusty improvised weapons.
Like a belaying pin and a gaff up.
Yeah.
The path, the cobbled path continues.
Ooh, any fishing nets? Big fishing nets.
Give me a preparedness. Give me a preparedness roll. Target of 4.
Do we do it? I've got points.
There is a fishing net, and it's a rope fishing net, and it's a big one. Yeah, it's probably 12 foot. No, probably 20 foot by 6 or 8 foot. Quite heavy, but there is one.
Okay, could come in handy at some point.
Yeah, it's beginning to sound like we're going to be gladiators in an arena, and you've got the rope with the gaff hook.
Or we can play tennis, use that as a net.
And use Savatri's head as the ball.
That's right.
Volleyball. Volley
Yeah.
head. Okay. The path kind of from the dock goes up, branches to the boathouse. The boathouse has a ramp down into the water as well. As I say, the boathouse doesn't have any boats in it. You can follow the path upwards towards what appears to be more buildings.
Yeah, carefully listening out for any voices or movements, and looking in the windows to see if there's any movements.
I'll have left my pipe behind and grabbed a hammer.
Okay.
I was thinking smoking pipe. I was thinking,
Where did that come from? Where was he hiding that?
Exactly.
In my man purse.
The first set of buildings you come to appear to be garden buildings, a greenhouse, much of the glass having been shattered. Whatever was once cultivated inside has formed a thick blanket of dense foliage in amongst the remaining lean-to frame of that greenhouse. The second building you see is a garden shack.
Yeah, go
Could be
and tease the door open.
Could be upgraded to spades and
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay. Joseph, opening the door, the first thing that you see are piles of bones
No.
scattered across the floor. I would like a stability test, please. Difficulty 1.
I'll stay out here.
yeah. I'm glad I didn't open that door.
Sorry.
I've got no
Stability
stability at
1,
all.
was it?
Difficulty 1, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
This must be where she puts the remains of the feeding.
Mm-hmm.
Amongst the bones and hung up on various walls are indeed rather nasty looking gardening, pruning hooks, shears, lumber saws, small saws, big saws, spades, rake.
I was going to say it's a rake I can leave on the floor. Ideal trap.
Yeah.
Forks. Gardening forks.
Garden.
Blooming nasty.
You're probably now about 50 or so yards from the side of the mansion.
Let's scuttle to the side and listen.
Yeah.
Okay. The mansion is quite. It's not hugely wide. It's not a really wide mansion, but it's quite a long mansion. Width-wise, probably 30, 40 yards wide. Probably 56, no, 30. It's probably 30 yards wide at its widest point, and about 50 yards, 60 yards at its length. As you've approached to your left, you can see what appears to be a rear patio area. Block paving steps leading up to a patio area. In the middle of these block paving steps, there appears to be a small circular, well, effectively it's a well, a stone-walled well.
Okay. Is there a bucket or anything to raise water out?
Just smell before you put anything down there.
Yeah. Well, while we're at the side of the building, are there any windows on this side? I'm assuming they're going to be higher than what we are.
Yeah, there would be.
Is there a chance of maybe...
So, where you've come to the building, the first thing is... so again, to your left, towards the patio, there is a series of very grand, very tall windows, almost floor level up to maybe 10 or so, 10, 15 feet high. To the right of you are a couple of small windows, and then a glass curved conservatory-like set of windows, another couple of small windows, and then appears to be a raised terrace at what you think is the front of the house.
I just want to look through a window for the moment and just see if I can see any movement inside or signs of life in there.
Do you want to look through one of the big tall windows at the back, one of the small windows, or the conservatory? Those are your closest windows.
Yeah, small windows in that case then.
Okay. That seems to... You peer into there, and it appears to be some kind of office.
Does it look lived in?
Hard to tell. How do you know that an office is lived in by looking through the window? There are things. There are definitely things on the desk in here. There's a couple of bookcases.
No cobwebs?
Hard to tell.
Right.
I hate to say it, just hard to tell.
Yeah.
Let me double check though. I'll see if there is anything obvious as you look through the window.
Like leaves are blown in or something like that type of thing.
Okay, so pretty much. Okay, so I should have read this first. The windows there are broken. The office looks like it has had all the drawers ripped open, paper strewn across the floor. Oh, you're a wet cat. Oh, God. No, get off my book. You're wet. I have got mud all over my book. Damn cat. The dampness and the humidity has started to form mold across the room on the inside. It was definitely an office. It definitely looks like it has not been used for a long time. The door beyond appears to be closed.
Maybe the people in the shed were the people that own this place.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you remember back to the census that wasn't returned.
Yeah, then I had a census of the place for a while. There was over
Of
100
course.
people at one point.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to check the well, pull up whatever's in there, just to see whether the water's safe to use.
Yeah,
or...
drag Joseph. I'm going to put it roughly where you are. So you're roughly there, Joseph, outside of this office.
I can't see.
No, I just see black.
You just see black, don't you?
Maybe that's because I'm unconscious.
Oh,
The well smells fine. Lowering a bucket down there to double check, it is cool water, and you get the sense that it is flowing.
Okay.
So
Oh.
it appears to be a genuine freshwater well.
I'll drink some from my hands.
It's nice. Quenches your thirst.
It seems safe.
oh, hearing
Anyone
that,
else?
hearing that, I'm going to come round to have a drink, and then maybe put some water over my leg as well to clean the wound.
Yeah. Same.
I'm
Well,
hoping we
same
can get a
way.
cup. I'm hoping we get a cup of tea or coffee in there.
Yeah. Of course, if one of the corpses comes up and starts off for one, I'm out of there.
See a kitchen, a pantry, and a dining room.
Well, there is when you go in and start exploring, of course.
Yeah. Which is going to happen once we've got the drink.
Yeah, so let's.
Who's got the lead pipe? Where's the library?
I want the revolver. It's the only combat skill that I haven't spent any points on.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
move
it's just-
round to. I'm going to move to the back patio after I've had a drink.
Yeah, we'll follow him round.
Yeah. See, this type of house, Joseph's the one that knows his way around these type of buildings, so I'm going to follow his lead.
Yeah, this is a little bit different to. Does look nice though.
Yeah, the patio would probably fit my house in it.
It's a grand ballroom. I'm looking for the not so grand ballroom.
You're looking for the grand ballroom, so you're going in the back door.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
where it
so
is.
you go round, you go up from where the well is to the patio area. Once upon a time, the patio would have been really nice. It's a north-south facing building. So the patio itself looks towards the southern part of the island, which is a little bit clearer of trees, and it has an okay view. It's slightly elevated to the southern part of the island, so there is a bit of a view down to the sea. Because you came in from the east, right? You came west up to the side of the house. The double doors at the back are open. And when you kind of peer inside, you do indeed see a very grand ballroom.
Nice.
Please tell me that is not spider webs up there.
That is what would now be quite badly kept.
Looks like silk.
Silk cloth,
Mm.
yes. But those doors that you can see at the far end are openable.
The floor is it carpeted or is it wooden?
It would be wooden.
What's the state of the wood as we step onto it? Because I mean, we raised up, so there's going to be a drop underneath.
Mouldy. The sense that you get is very much the ballroom hasn't been used for a long time. There is a scent of mould and mildew in the air.
Mm.
Whatever furniture is in here is showing signs of mould and damp. Chairs themselves overturned or broken. A few what you imagine must have once been portraits have been slashed and ripped from their frame. The actual paint canvas scattered on the floor, and a lot of it's been stood on.
Just before we go any further, are there any sort of fresh signs of footfall?
There are no fresh signs of footfall. There are lots of signs of blood.
Ooh.
Like here and there on the wall, you can see what looks like a hand that's been kind of dragged along, or there's stains on the floor. It'd probably be carpeted, actually. Well, no, it would be jungle. It wouldn't be carpeted. It'd be wooden, wouldn't it? So there'll be definite signs of blood stains on the wooden floor here and there. From sort of the entrance of the ballroom, you can probably count half a dozen.
All old, I hope.
All old.
Okay, let's push on through and see what's through those doors.
Yeah.
And you begin to hear. Yeah, you can just move the token wherever you want to be.
So through those double doors, those doors.
As you move through, I'm just going to move you back a little bit. You get to about here. You can hear coming from ahead of you a piano playing. Seems to be, firstly, the piano is clearly out of tune. Secondly, whoever is playing it, it's like they're trying to remember how to play it.
Crap. I just wanted to find a room with our clothes and stuff in. What sort of direction is it coming from?
To the northeast. Now, when you looked in the office, what's called Condec's office, there was no sign of a piano in there.
Right.
But it's that direction.
I never looked through the conservatory, did I? But right, nice and quietly.
Morning room, maybe?
Is it this floor? It's not coming from another, like from above or below?
No, it's coming from this floor. As you get up to the door to the conservatory, it's coming from within the conservatory.
It's a solid door, is it? A glass.
As you look inside the conservatory, tall curved wall of glass, several of which the panes are broken. There is a piano, half askew on 3 legs near the centre of the floor. It is that piano that is making the noise, but there is no sign of anybody playing it.
It's probably a severed hand going backwards and forwards on it.
Still one of those that have the reels that play old.
It appears to be a. I wouldn't say it was a grand piano, but it's not just a standard upright piano.
Is it colder in here?
No.
I've got some salt.
Oh, bugger it. Joe's just going to step through.
I'll put my hand on his shoulders. I can't see our clothes or stuff. There's no point looking at that yet.
Which shoulder are you putting your hand on?
Not the one with you. Not the one with you.
Stop! Oh shit!
As you get no fingers.
Okay, I'll stop. And I'll tell you, I will do. I'm gonna lean down and look under the piano.
Okay. Nothing under the piano.
It's still playing.
Yeah.
Are the keys going in, or is it just coming from the hammers that are underneath the back part of the piano?
Keys are not moving, but it's playing.
It's probably a mouse inside it.
Or a cat.
Yeah, it's running across the.
You want to look now, don't you?
I do.
I'll wait out here while Joseph goes and takes a look.
It's a giant spider.
Are you going to look?
I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to lift up.
I'm going to go to the across the way to the room opposite.
Okay, Joseph, give me a stability 4 test, please.
Oh, behave.
Yeah, I can't do that. No, let's get a really good row.
You're on 0 stability.
That's why I can't do it.
Any stability, because you take
Nope.
sanity loss as well
is-
now.
That's why I'm not going in there.
Right, my
Exactly.
stability. Sorry, my stability's reset again. So
Paranormal activity, no stability. Go the other way.
Yeah.
It was 6 when we started. I did a 2 check, didn't I, for stability?
Yeah.
So I'm down to 4. That's fine. So let me do a roll on here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to follow Rolf.
Did you open it from the icon?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry for my
Yeah, I think what's happening, I think the icon gets disconnected from the character sheet.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so I think it's not reflecting the situation.
I don't mind it's accurate because most of my skills are 0 or close to them.
I've
used that
You were
many of them.
kind of expecting it, Joseph, and it's exactly what you thought. A moist, lumpy protuberance from the mouth's fanged slit mouth is kind of tonguing the wires.
Oh, what? Sorry.
I don't know what this. Let's have a look what this word means. I don't know what it means.
It's an actual mouth, though.
So it's a mouth. Protuberant is a thing that protrudes from something else. So basically, it's a large tongue
Protruding from the base.
and lumpy that is tonguing away at the piano wires, making the hammers clink.
Yeah, that lid's going back down.
Yeah, you close the lid down.
Yeah, and when we leave, that's getting burnt.
Yeah. The entrance to this place, they don't have a plaque saying this is the Adams family residence or something.
No,
It's
I've
beginning
no
to-
I'm going to tell the others as quick as possible that there's a mouth in the piano.
Do not want to know.
No.
Oh, thank you.
I just don't want you opening a cupboard to find a
Not
mouth
today,
in
sir.
there. Not today.
Somebody else with very little sanity. They don't want to know.
You know what I'm saying?
By the way, one thing that I forgot to say: the back patio, part of the patio itself, has been choked by black vines that are climbing up, up from a lot of the furniture that's been left scattered on the back patio. Apart from one chair that is completely clear of foliage and is kind of sitting facing the sun.
And that's where Savitri sits. Or sat.
Okay, so Alfred, where were you going?
Dining room.
I was going to opposite, and I'd probably go to the one directly opposite.
Okay. So the dining room. So you open that.
Any weird noise is coming from inside first before I open the door.
Yeah.
You open the room, and sure enough, it is the remains of a grand dining room. The windows facing the west of the building have all been broken. The curtains and things that covered them are all in rags and tatters and definitely mouldy. The grand table and the sort of the dozen or so chairs that are sat around the table are all broken, mouldy, covered in mildew. The table itself has probably got 2 legs broken, so it's at a funny angle, badly scratched and damaged. And here and there again, I think across the table in here, there is signs of more blood. There's been blood in the hallway that you've been wandering around in. You kind of get the sense, looking at this, that a lot of people died in this house. Very messily.
Yeah, I'm going to open the doors to the billiard room.
Brilliant.
But then look, there's billiard cues at least that we could use as.
Actually, the billiard table pretty much destroyed.
Yeah.
More blood. There is what looks to be 1 billiard cue left that's been broken, probably a third of the way down from the tip in kind of a jagged fashion, and has a big blood stain on it.
I'll leave that where it is.
Where next?
Well, I'm going to stay in the main entry hall there, watching the stairs and trying to block out the piano.
Okay.
While you were in there, did you look in the morning room?
No, I
The only
came
way-
straight back out.
He came straight back out after looking at the piano.
Yeah, well, I'm not going in to look in the morning room because the only way to access this is through the conservatory unless there's another window or something.
Correct. That is the only way to access it. The windows in the morning room face outwards. There are no windows inwards.
Okay. Just put all our clothing's in there. Have a look out onto the front terrace. See
The
if there's
front-
any sign of recent activity there.
The front terrace is fairly clear. To the left-hand side, as you look at it, so on the wall, the billiard room wall, there seems to be a pile of clothing.
I'll shout out to the others. There's clothing over here.
I bet it's Savitry's.
Oh, no, I'll get there.
It appears
It
to
is
be
male.
all clothing.
Right. I think I put mine on. I hide Joseph's and just put Savitry's out, and we watch him run around in her clothing.
Yay!
Now I'm starting to get
Wouldn't be
dressed.
the first time. Is it our clothing? Sorry.
Yes, your clothing.
Oh, I'm getting dressed. Yeah.
And stuck around there is all the gear that you took down into the labyrinth with you.
Oh yes.
Fun.
Did you have any books with you, Ralph?
No, because they're in the thingy under wardrobes and stuff.
They are. You did say that. Okay. That's good. No notebook or anything?
I'll have a drawing book. Yeah, just a little.
Is
Notebook
it a
with-
drawing book that you've used elsewhere? So that the one that you had your sketches in from England, the stuff that you sketched from Ethiopia, notes that you might have scribbled in?
Possibly depends how full it got.
I've got
I
a
suppose.
notebook which I've got the odd notes in and things, but
Okay. Anybody with a notebook that refers even slightly to the strange stuff that you've been exploring, the notebooks are not among your possessions.
okay.
Yeah, it'll be pictures of people. I drew a lot of sketches of people.
So you'd have had the EBA in there, for instance.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that notebook is not there.
Did we look in the office, or did we just see it was an office?
You didn't look inside. You didn't go inside, but it's been ransacked.
Yeah, I look from the outside.
Yeah, completely ransacked.
So is it worth ransacking it again, see whether it's...
Yeah, it could be. Now we've got our equipment. Feel a lot.
Well, those books may be in her personal bedroom or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a safe or something daft.
Isn't it random though, just to leave our clothes here?
Are her belongings here as well, with ours?
No.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go and take a look around the office, see if there are any books or anything in there.
Whatever papers or anything that was left in there have been well and truly destroyed, faded, disappeared. You can't make anything out anymore.
Right.
Okay. I'm quick look there, helping Alfred. I'll make my way through that dining room again, and then down to what probably there's going to be. If it's a big house, off the dining room there will be a kitchen or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow once I've looked in the office.
Set of stairs that go down, I think. Let me double check.
There's going to be one for cold storage for the cellar, won't there? And one up for serving upstairs, maybe?
Yeah, a set of stairs that go down. And a set of stairs, I think.
Servants' hall and second floor. It says next to it.
Up. So set of stairs that go up, set of stairs that go down. So I think these ones here go up, these ones go down.
Yeah, looks like there's a servants' hall below us. Going for that.
Correct, as far as you can tell.
Yeah.
Now, compared to all the other rooms that you've seen, the kitchen and the pantry are, I wouldn't say immaculate, but they are well stocked. They are clean, and they are serviceable.
Oh,
she won't be using the dining room. She probably eats on the patio, but she still needs food on it and a kitchen to prep it in.
Yeah.
The pantry itself has definitely got more food in it than just for one person. Or she keeps herself stocked for several months.
Right.
Let's get some food.
Easily things to eat. Like
high calorie.
There is any
dried meats.
And
there's dried meats. There's fresh fruit. There's all sorts.
Right.
Anything that's fresh fish, things like that. There's no point letting it go. You may as well use it. Wouldn't want to waste food.
No.
Okay.
Not sure what breads there'll be, but whatever grain-based things as well. Just basically a restock, because we've not drank our fruit juice. Have they got any fruit juice? Fresh orange. They got oranges.
Got oranges.
Squeeze some fresh orange.
There'll be a hand press.
Brilliant.
More
importantly, coffee or tea. I'm assuming there may be some or both, or depending. I don't know what our tastes were.
Yeah, there would be both.
I'll put the kettle on for you.
Give me 1 second. While you're putting on the kettle, you begin to prep the food, the drink. Because it's at that point you realise it's probably been at least 24 hours since you had a good bite to eat. Ralph, your mouth is still twitchy and still wants still wants feeding.
Still continuously going through the mantras as well. We're trying to keep my shit together.
No problem. Give me a sec. I'm just.
While they're making drinks and preparing food, I'll keep an eye out where the stairs come from, just in case. Once we've seen the amount of food here, in case somebody else does turn up, and I'll keep my revolver in hand.
You could say she had many mouths to feed as well, but you know.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you're tucking into the food, you're obviously trying to be quiet about it, but it's not always easy. Sorry, I'm just looking for a specific note. Let's see if this will. I'm not sure how far you would get. You got a little bit further than I was expecting. Right? So it's here. You hear, Alfred, you hear footsteps, quite light footsteps on the stairs above. And at one point you hear the stairs.
Right. I'll wave to the others, signalling, and point up. And step out of sight of where the stairs come from now, but with a revolver pointed.
The
Whiffs.
footsteps get louder, but they're still quite soft as somebody descends the stairs. And you hear, "Savitri, darling, is that you? I'm hungry. You didn't return for my dinner." And Alfred, as you peek around the corner, you see this figure. Oh no! Oh, I've just shared the whole thing with you. Sorry.
Not looking, not
Okay,
looking.
I see the whole family tree there.
No, what's going on? That's what I wanted to do.
Jesus.
You see an old Siamese woman. Frail, milk-clouded eyes, wearing stained and torn clothes. The smell, her body odor precedes her. Like you could almost see this dark miasmic cloud coming down the stairs ahead of her. As she
Fucking
comes
Aboleth.
Savitri, darling, is that you? And I think at that point we'll call it a night.
Fuck her up, lads.
So the first thing next go is bang.
Yeah, let's go. Kill an old woman. Great way to start next week.
What's next? We're going to go to the children's hall.
Murder all the kiddies. What's going on?
I feel like a Jedi.
Yeah, I've just shared all the pictures with you, haven't I? So if you look through all the pictures, you know, the children's hall, the bedroom, the child's room, the coffins.
Oh no! I closed it down.
I closed it down straight away. You're reading out what we didn't see.
Yeah.
Where's the worst one? The puppy chamber.
Puppy chamber's awesome. The puppy is not a puppy.
Yeah, they've got the jaws on the front and they've got a mouth on the back.
So, what I would say, Monday. We should be good next Monday.
Bank holiday, isn't it?
Bank holiday Monday, assuming everybody's around, but we will have a hard 10 o'clock stop because I'm going early to Belfast the following day. But we should be good Monday next week.
So we're on this Thursday, it's the following Thursday we're not, isn't it?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
All being well, we should finish Bangkok next week.
But then again, we should have finished Thursday's game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, to be fair, a Monday night game depends on how many old ladies we want to kill.
Yeah. How we want to kill her.
Yeah.
She's got like 5 hit points. One shot from a well-placed pistol round will kill her. For goodness sake.
Can we just throw a head
We'll have
back?
to be careful to make it last 2 hours then.
Yeah.
The question is, will she stay dead? That's the big question.
Can I
Or will
put
she
her?
just get up and come out again?
Can I put her underneath the piano?
Well, there's coffin.
Oh, that's brutal. And then tip it up so it's going towards the head.
Yeah.
You could absolutely do that. Right, I'm closing Foundry down.